If you had $1 million plus in your bank account, what could you be doing in your life?
Welcome to Immigrant Diaries, the show where we celebrate inspiring people whose journeys remind us that immigration is more than just changing countries. It's about building a life, creating an opportunity, and making a difference. Today's guest has done just that. Please join me in welcoming Rita Singh.
Thank you so much for having me, Rohini. It's an honor to be here with you and share a bit of my life with you.
Absolutely. So let's start at the very beginning. What brought you to Canada in 1994?
So I got married, and that's how I landed up in this country. My ex-husband was from Canada, and that's how I came over here.
What do you remember most about your first few months here?
It was really difficult. It was a culture shock when I came over here because
Wow.
I came from Mumbai straight over here, and back then there was no internet had just kind of cropped in. There were no cell phones, so there was no real connection with India other than those trunk calls that we had to make. So it was just like suddenly you're cut off all of a sudden from the land that you've grown up in. So
What were some of the biggest challenges for you starting over life in a new country?
I had a clothing business in India, and I wanted to start that over here. And when I came over here, one, I never knew anybody. Two, the only place that there was for Indian clothes back then was Gerrard Street. And when I went to Gerrard Street back then, it was like walking into 1965. So the challenge was to get to know more people of the community, how to reach out to them because I didn't have any resources, and be able to start my business. So back in the day, there was only mandirs was the only way to go there and put up your stuff in stall or something to get to know the community. And that's where I began. And in India, with all the help, like when I had the business over there, you have help. And then suddenly coming over here, and then you become the iron person, and then you become the person who's putting the hook, and all of that was like suddenly, it all falls on you. And I was like, whoa, I didn't realize that I have to do this one and all. I have to become the peon also, the wo jo banda istri bhi karta hai, everything was on my plate, including become the salesperson. So yeah, it was difficult.
Quite
It
a
was very
challenge.
difficult.
Yeah. So Rita, tell us, how did Zed's Boutique begin? And is there a memorable customer story that you would like to share?
So, like I said, because I never knew anybody, I used the yellow pages back in the day. And I just went through yellow pages, and every surname that I would see, which is an Indian surname, I just do these cold calls. I am la la la, I've come from India, I'm a designer. I must have made maybe thousands of phone calls, maybe more, just random calls like that. And out of that, maybe one customer would show up like that. But slowly, slowly, that one led to two, two led to three, and that's how it just started to grow. I showcased myself on television back in the day. There was only one Indian show. It used to be a Shan Chandrasekhar show. And I reached them and I told them, showcase me. I sponsored the clothes. I did everything I could to slowly, slowly, slowly get into the community, and it just grew like that. But the beautiful part today, when I hear and look back, is the customers that I catered to then. This was 1994. Some of the women were like, came to me for their bridal outfits. Today, they bring me their daughters for their bridal outfits. So when they come to me and they say, this is my daughter getting married, and I'm like, wow, I dressed you when you were getting married, and now it's your daughter that who's coming to buy the outfit. So that is a great validation that tells me that so many years I was able to be in the community serving the women, that they have the faith that they bring back their daughter 30 years later that now dress her for her marriage. So yeah, that's like the most memorable thing, and it happens pretty often where the client will come back, and now I'm dressing the daughter.
That's quite a brand you've created. Okay, let's do a fun fashion round. Sari or lenga?
Me personally, lenga.
Silk or chiffon?
Chiffon any day, any day.
Why?
Oh, it's so giving on the body, so
Yeah.
giving. So sari, silk makes you look double your size. Chiffon makes you look half your size.
It's flattering. Traditional red or modern pastels?
Pastel. I like pastels. I
Okay.
like pastels.
You're
I
moving.
think it goes very well with our Indian skin.
Okay. Heavy embroidery or simple elegance?
Simple elegance. I wear that. I sell that. I tell my clients that as well.
So, while you've dressed women, what prompted you to teach yoga?
Yeah, I've been in yoga since I was 22. At that age, this whole thing drew me, and I became, there was a organization called Siddha Samadhi Yoga, which I became a teacher over there, and
Where is
that's back in Mumbai.
okay.
Yeah, they're now, I mean, they're all over the country, but I
Mhm.
studied it over there. Then life brought me here. Much later in my life, one day I was listening to a talk of somebody, and question was, if you had $1 million plus in your bank account, what would you be doing in your life? And instantly, the answer in my mind came, I'd be having something to do with wellness. When I answered my own question, I was like, why am I not doing it now? I don't have the $1 million, but why am I not doing it now? So I took up a yoga course over here. I recertified myself, and just out of pure interest, with this foresight that one day, maybe when I'm 70, I'll have the million, or whenever I'll retire, I will have a
Yeah.
complete wellness center to do with healing, wellness, people's health, and just living a more vital life. And that's how I started in 2008. And I started teaching once a week, and then I started twice a week, and then it just became more and more, and now it's my life. Forget anybody else benefiting. I have benefited the most by this. So my $1 million is my lifestyle that I have understood and recognized today.
So you're also doing Reiki healing for cancer patients, which is like an amazing service you're doing for people. So what prompted you to do that?
So it stemmed from yoga. So the base yoga is not standing on your head and doing these pretzel postures. The essence of yoga is really to make you understand who you are, why are you here, what are you doing on
It
this.
has a deeper meaning.
Yeah, this doorway, this opportunity came. So again, somebody just one day said that I incidentally, who kind of just met me and randomly said that you are meant to be doing Reiki. And I was like, I didn't even know what Reiki was. I came home, I Googled, like, what is Reiki? I said, okay. She said, maybe let me just see classes. Like, as random as that. I said, I looked up classes. Oh, this is available near my house. I'll go and do that. And I went and did the certification. When I finished the certification, it the opportunity just came to me that not far in Oakville there is a cancer center that allows you to go and volunteer for Reiki. So I went and approached them, and again it started with just once in a month, and became twice a month. It became once in a week. It became twice a week. It's just become my life now.
So, how do you protect your own emotional well-being when you're helping patients like the cancer patients who are in pain?
Yeah, I do not emotionally get entangled in the patient's story. So, being detached from their story, I am able to do the energy healing on them. It does drain and affect us. I do a couple of things. I swim, and in my swimming, I do a lot of release of whatever that I
Cleansing,
feel.
yeah.
Yeah, I do grounding, which is walking in nature barefoot. We do things like hugging the tree. Then
Mm,
I do a lot of chanting. So
mm,
I do things where I am protecting my energy
right,
field
right.
so that I can again show up the next day for the same thing that I'm supposed to be
Yeah,
doing.
I mean, this is quite a handful, you have on your plate here. And then you've added tarot to the mix. How do you manage all that?
I love the metaphysical world, the world of the energy.
Yeah,
The tarot
you
came
seem
to
to.
me because of COVID. Because COVID came, everything shut down. My yoga shut. My yoga was on. I was still doing it online, but clothing shut down, and my
Hmm.
going to Reiki shut down. I had nothing to do. So a friend of mine in India is a tarot reader. So I requested. I said, just out of curiosity, like I have nothing to do, just teach me tarot. And she said, yeah, sure. So she taught me tarot, and boom, it just started.
Beyond business and Reiki and yoga, you still found time to involve yourself to serve the community. So, tell us about your role with iPartner.
So iPartner India Canada is a section of iPartner India. It's a NGO, it's a charity which is run over there, which helps in anti-trafficking of vulnerable girls in Rajasthan. So this organization was started by a friend called Jaskirat Kaur, and I joined up with her, and that's what we do. We do collecting funds from here, and send it to the girls. And so far, we have been able to sponsor 700 girl children, and it is this charity is only started. We got our status in 2020, which was COVID, and literally from 21 we started. So it's only 5 years. It's a baby yet, but still, by God's grace, there's a lot of work that has been done to change the life of these girls in India. And our vision is one day this practice is completely eliminated from the society.
That is such a noble cause because young girls in India or anywhere in the world can be very, very vulnerable.
In the beginning, people were like, oh, this is a mammoth of a problem. You can't solve this. It's going on for 100 of years. It's like, if we can save one girl and another and the third and the fourth, by
Yeah,
God's grace,
yeah,
and this is all grace that is happening, that there's already been 700 girls who have been sent
yeah.
for
And
school education.
people with. What do you think volunteering has taught you as a person? Are there any life lessons or experiences that you have or would want to share?
Yeah, I have understood in my journey that the purpose of my existence, it doesn't necessarily need to be anybody else's, is just seva. It's just service as much as I can. My big learning and teaching of life has been just serve as much as you can, just serve.
So, can you share a moment or an experience where your work that you do with iPartner India and helping the community in Rajasthan, India, has made a difference in somebody's life?
So we just last year, two of our girl children graduated from university. That it's one of the best universities in Rajasthan, and these two are going to go out into the community and make the difference and the change. Because then the younger girls look at that and say, if they can do it, we can do it, and then they get inspired to walk the path more so in that direction. So that's been a huge achievement for us, that they've reached that. They've, with great numbers, they've graduated, and now they're going to be,
Yeah.
whatever field they choose. So that's been a really good moment for us.
So, Rita, now you are also a wellness coach and you're helping people uh, recover from mental stress or mental disorders. Tell us more about what you're doing.
Oh yes, actually, it's another passion of mine, and it's related to everything else that I am doing. It's all about changing the perspective of how you
Totally.
view things. That's all there is. So I took upon the course. I studied a wellness coaching course last year. I graduated from there, and now I started my practice and business of that. And it is to help people when they are either in depression or they are not able to find clarity in their life and they are stuck in some way. They just need to be able to get a new lens to be able to see it. And pretty much everybody has the answers within them. It's just that we have these cloudy days or weeks or sometimes months where we get all, where we are not able to see direction in our life. And that's when I
You help out.
it's career stress, house stress, home stress, relationship stress, uh, all these issues where you're not able to, sometimes know which direction to take work wise. Should I change my job? Shouldn't I? Things like that, people there's too much stress in our everyday life, the kind of lifestyle that we are all living today. And that's in situations like that is when they can reach out to me. And I then combine all the modalities I have learned, and with all of that is how I help them. So with breathing, with a bit of tarot direction, with if they need Reiki healing as well, all of it put together is what I now.
So it's a complete package.
It's a full package.
Is there any advice that you would like to give the new immigrants coming in, or people watching the show, or somebody who wants to start a business in Canada?
Do not give up. Just don't. Whatever is your vision that you've come here with, if you are at it, it may take you a little longer than what you wanted to achieve it, but this place, this country will give you the opportunity to flourish. Just don't give up.
Thank you, Rita, for sharing your inspiring story. And thank you to our viewers for watching.